I have here the EGear Survival Essentials waterproof matchbox. Now, this is cheap, it's not very expensive, it's not super high quality, but it could save your life. I have had an experience where I fell through the ice one time, and I was far from home. Actually, a friend and I were on a bicycle trip, and we had crossed the river on ice in the morning, and coming back that afternoon after a warm, sunny, beautiful day, crossing the ice again, we both fell through. And I had my Rambo-style survival knife. That was back in the day when that stuff was popular. And it was a cheap, gimmicky thing, but it did save our lives because we stripped our clothes off and started a fire, used the knife to hack and slash and break down branches and twigs for burning. And the knife back edge of the handle was the saw back of the knife blade, I should say. And the waterproof matches inside saved our lives. Otherwise, we would have died of hypothermia far from home in the middle of winter. So therefore, I do believe in having multiple sources of fire starters in your survival gear. Now, this is the EGear. You can find this on Amazon, and I'll paste the link below. And we're going to give this a serious try out here. As you can see, I have one that I have kept in my EDC, everyday carry bag. And I do have matches in it. I do carry these around. Actually, I can put a lot more in there. These came, I believe, with this. They don't sell the matches with it anymore. I think these originally came with this. And because these are actually wax-coated waterproof matches. I've had this one here for quite a few years. Alright, so if I remember right, it came with a little paper striker, which was a useless piece of garbage, and the waterproof matches, which also weren't very good quality. But what you can do is, from the dollar store, I got 250 matches. That's 250 fires. And if you're smart, you start one fire and you keep it going forever. So it's 250 restarts. That's enough for probably a lifetime. Now, this is waterproof. It has a waterproof O-ring, and we're going to really put that through the test today. I'm going to take this out in the lake. It is rubber, so it should be waterproof. I'm going to take this out in the lake and douse it. And I'm going to tie a weight around it, if I can find something to do that with. Or just hold it under the water. And then we're going to take it out and try it. It does have a ferro or cerium rod striker on the back, which does work. It produces some serious strikes, but you've got to scrape the glue off first. It's really dumb how they've got it heavily glued in there. Now, I've seen comments online where people think that's supposed to be a match striker. That is not a match striker. This is not the striker. This is a ferro or cerium rod, ferro rod for short, and you scrape that with the back edge of a knife blade, and it produces a lot of good sparks, which I'll be demonstrating later. Now, it says right here, durable composite plastic container with O-ring seal, keeps matches dry, striker on bottom. There's where I don't know why they put the word striker on bottom. That is not a striker. It's a ferrocerium rod, not a match striker. So that's misleading, and funny enough, they made an error in the packaging. Match is not included anymore. I do believe, like I said, mine came with it. And again, they say striker on bottom of container. That is not the match striker. Again, funny that they mislabeled. That is a ferro rod. It does throw sparks. It is designed to throw massive amount of sparks. So I do see why it's misleading people, because they say it right on the box. So anyway, it's made in China from a company in Florida. Funny enough, this is EGear.com, but I'll give you the Amazon link. Amazon is always a good price anyway. And we'll take this out here in a few minutes and run it through the works. I'm going to open this one up. Actually, let's do that now. I'll get my wicked sharp Ontario Knife Company here This is the Rat 1 folding knife from Ontario Knife Company. Wicked sharp. I have been using this. Actually, I shaved the tip of my thumb off the other day with it. You have to be very careful with this knife. Very, very careful. I'm in the process of testing and reviewing this knife thoroughly. Actually, you can see I was using it on the, you can see the discoloration a little bit. I was using it with the ferro rod, and you can see where it threw some sparks. When I test a product, I test it thoroughly. I don't just do a little video review. I put it through the works. So we'll open up one of these here, and we'll get some matches in there, and we'll take it out, and we'll douse it under the water, and then we're gonna see if the matches will start a fire. These are plain old Strike Anywhere. Striker in a box. Are they Strike Anywhere or are they Strike on the box matches? I'll have to take a piece of this with me then, just to be sure. That'll be the ultimate test if that stays dry. So we'll take a mess of these, put them in here. Now again, I'm a firm believer in multiple fire starters for survival situation. The more the merrier. That's one thing, honestly, you do not, especially if you live in a cold climate, regardless, you know what, fire starting is a necessity. If you're in a survival situation, you're going to have to boil water for drinking. You need fire. You need fire for warmth. You need fire for cooking. You need fire for boiling water. Cooking kills a lot of pathogens in your food. It could save your life. So again, I'm a firm believer in having a whole mess of different fire starting capabilities, and I'll show you through the season here all the different fire starting methods that I have and my favorites and pros and cons of each. Ferro rod being one of my favorites because it is a really good, reliable sparking device, and it's honestly, flint and steel is great, but if you have a ferro rod, you can save your knuckles in a lot of pain and trouble, because you just scrape it with the back of a knife and boom, you've got fire. So we'll take this outside. I'm going to put this one back in my EDC bag, and we'll take this one outside today with the new matches in it. Oops, I'm going to put a piece of the striker in there. I'll do that off camera, and we'll try it out today. Well, I didn't get to taking this out to the water today, but it is evening time, and baby cat has to show up in every video. It is evening time, and it is raining out, so I'm going to just toss this outside overnight, and we're going to come back to this tomorrow, and we'll see how it survives the rain. That is a perfect, typical scenario where this might go through, being outdoors in a rainstorm. So let's take this outside and toss it out somewhere where it's going to get really good and rained on, and see how things look tomorrow. It is currently, can you see the mist? Let's see, I don't know if you can see there's mist coming down. I don't know if it shows up on the camera. I won't know until I edit this video. I think you can see it. It's slightly misting. Anyway, everything's sopping wet. I'm going to set this here on a log, and I'm going to leave it here overnight. You can see the ground is absolutely sopping wet. It isn't currently raining hard right now, but it has been all day, and it's going to rain all night. And this is a perfect scenario for this waterproof matchbox. And well, we'll come back tomorrow, see how it does, see if we can start a fire with those matches. So we've got a severe thunderstorm. I don't know if you can see the rain coming down. Let's see if I can focus into the there you go. I think you should be able to see the rain coming down in front of the light. It's a severe thunderstorm right now. Let's see if I can get back on there. And my little waterproof matchbox is sitting out there, getting absolutely drenched. So this is a really good test, and it's been raining constantly like this for hours. Oh, hope that showed up. Lightning storm. So it's raining pretty good. I do hope that shows in the camera. And we'll leave it out there all night in a thunderstorm and see if that little thing, if the matches will be usable in the morning. This is the best test. Well, my little waterproof matchbox has been sitting out in the rain all night. We had severe thunderstorms, and I hope that shows up how much water just fell off that. And it's actually raining lightly right now. We have a mild mist coming down. Actually, it's a light rain. So I'm drying it off right now. I hope you can see everything I'm doing. I'm just drying it off on my pant leg so I don't have wet fingers when I handle the matches inside. I should have brought a rag out, but in a real outdoor survival situation, all your gear is going to be wet except for the stuff in your tube. So, let's see. Now, I've never actually tested this before. This is, for me, a real experiment, a real test. This has been out in severe rain all night. No moisture on the edge and around the lip. There seems to be no light moisture on the gasket. No moisture there. Seems good. So let me get out the striker. Unfortunately, at the dollar store I did not buy Strike Anywhere matches. I just blindly grabbed, it was a 2-pack of 250 each, Strike on a Box matches. But a match is better than no match. So I'm going to put this cap back on because it is misting out. I wouldn't call it a rain, but it's a good mist. And let's see if we can have a fire. That there could save your life. If you had been out in a really wet situation all day, in a real survival situation, and all you had was this waterproof match kit with you, and you needed to save your life and warm yourself up, you could have fire. You could boil water, you can cook, and you'd have a fire. We'll do one more test of this just for fun. We're going to take this over to the pond. I'm going to put this striker back in there. We're going to take this over to the pond, and I'm going to dump it in the pond to simulate falling in with all of your gear. What if you fell into the pond, or a lake, or a stream, river, creek, whatever, crossing it, as I have done? What happened to me? Now, I'm not even tightening this down hard. I'm not torquing it down. I'm just tightening it lightly, all right? Because I want to simulate real life. If I'm going out and I happen to just use it and casually close it up, what's going to happen? And let's see if the striker works wet. It's one of the last ever uses of my Job Smart knife, because it is not smart. I hate it, and I am taking it back. I did a review on that the other day, I think on my main channel. This is an absolute piece of garbage, but let's see if it's got an edge to strike with at least. See if we can get a spark off this. Yeah, this isn't going to be easy. This doesn't even lock. I don't know why. Well, I didn't see the package. It was bubble packed or whatever you call it. Let's see if we can get a spark. Yeah, wow. Yeah, okay, see? That'll save your life. Even if your matches are wet. Very nice sparks, even wet. Alright, after sitting out all night long. Very good sparks, even wet. Now again, I've seen, even on the websites, they list this as a striker, which is misleading. It is a ferro or cerium rod, or a ferro rod for short. And you need to strike it with a metal object to get a spark. It is not a match striker. It is very misleading that the manufacturer says that. But as long as you are aware of this, this could save your life as well. So let's go out over to the lake. I hope I get there before the rain gets worse. Hi, Troy from TR Tech Tactical again. We're here at the lake. I've got my waterproof matchbox, and I'm hoping I can retrieve it. I know it's going to float. I'm just going to dump this in the lake. Scenario, you're boating, kayaking, river crossing, or crossing the ice, and you fall in. Boat tips over, you're fishing, whatever, and your matches fall in. Well, that's a bummer. You just lost your ability to start fire. I don't know if you can see that right there. Yeah, I think you can see it right there. So, my matches are in the water. Normally, if it wasn't a waterproof match case, I'd be in trouble. Plunge it in a couple times, we'll just dunk it in, and pick it up, hold it under a few seconds. Of course, the water is about 40 degrees, so I'm not going to hold it under very long. If your bag fell into the water and was submerged for a while, of course you would grab it. It won't stay there very long, but I'm sure that this will hold water out after it passes this simple test. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. So I'm just going to dry it off of my jeans, dry my hands off so I have dry hands to grab my matches. Now you've fallen through the water, whatever happens, whatever scenario, and now you've got to start a fire and dry yourself off. Sorry, I just saw a salamander and I was distracted. It's the first sign of life I've seen yet since the ice melted about 3-4 days ago. Let me get away from the water's edge a little. That's exactly why I might really fall into water, and that would not be cool because I've got my phone in my pocket. Alright, let's check this out. Now the gasket only has a tiny little bit of moisture around the edge. So obviously that's going to be because I did not tighten this really tight, remember. I just hand tightened it just for good demonstration. Now of course the matches are dry. I didn't expect anything else. And we'll fire up a match here just to make sure that we can have a fire. And see if this little thing can save your life. There we go. Life-saving waterproof matchbox. I do believe this could save your life. And for the couple dollars of the price, plus the ferro rod striker, highly recommended. I strongly believe in multiple fire starting capabilities. Let me set this down for a second. In a survival situation. And I am a firm believer in easy, simplistic fire starting. I was greatly impressed by the movie Castaway many years ago and decided I never wanted to suffer like that. And I have watched the TV series Naked and Afraid. For years I did not watch it because of my Christian beliefs, but a friend of mine mentioned it and I realized there's some serious hardcore survival happening on that show. And I was greatly impressed by the suffering they go through and how a simple match could change it all. And I just am a firm believer in multiple sources of fire starting, whether it be flint and steel, or rubbing sticks together, or a cigarette lighter, or matches, or a ferro rod, or a combination of the both. I prefer to have multiple. I am not going to go out and suffer if I don't have to. Now, it's good to know how to rub sticks together, and eventually I'll be doing that on video one day here when the weather is better, because right now it is very, very, very hard to start any sort of a fire when it's been raining for 5 days straight. That makes it tough. And I do remember a guy, he was proudly saying, I will have fire going in the first minutes of this survival situation, and 13 days later, him and his partner were suffering miserably, trying to rub sticks together in wet conditions. It's not fun, it's not easy. Make your life easier. Keep something with you, multiple ways to start a fire, on your person at all times, and never suffer. Well, it's Troy from TR Tech Tactical. Another hopefully helpful tip that could save your life. See you guys later.